Power doesn't panic. If you know, you know. Power doesn't panic. Donald Trump is panicking. That's how we know he doesn't have the power he thinks he has. We don't need to panic because we have that power, and I'll tell you why. Sending military in to blue cities is dangerous for the military. Military does not win insurgencies. These guys have one part of their brain between all of them. These are not military men. They think, oh, we're just going to send them to blue cities. If this was a battle zone, they would die. He doesn't care about them. He's just trying to send people in to intimidate. And I believe that the National Guard doesn't have bullets in there, and the Marines wouldn't either, because that would be a war crime to shoot on people. Okay, so you have ill-equipped, mentally ill-equipped people sending them in. Maybe not even understanding that these kids would lose. These kids do not want to be there because they know they would lose insurgencies. They know they aren't even weaponized to handle something like that if it were to go bad. They know that everyone around them has weapons. They don't go into areas like that often. And their own people that look like them, that can flood in around them from every state. People from Canada have told me they are headed here. I've had friends from China say, we will come over. We aren't just standing for our people, we are standing for the world. And they are watching us and they are supporting us. That gives us power. The sentiment around these deportations is turning on Trump. Celebrities are finally speaking out. People that we would expect to be on Trump's side are speaking out. Red areas are speaking out. This isn't what they thought was going to happen, whether you agree or not. They thought they were going to be picking up criminals. Sadly, that's what ICE always was doing before. There was no need for National Guard. There was no need for this to be a public event. They worked with people in those communities to pick up people that were causing problems and that were committing crimes. That's what ICE used to do. He just weaponized it because it pulled well. It's still the only thing that pulls well at all. Everything else he's done is underwater. He's got to put all his chips on this, which is a huge mistake once again. So you have public sentiment turning on this. The guys out there don't want to be there. They know they would be toast if anything goes bad. And Trump doesn't care. He just wants the images. He just wants to be able to say, look, it's the radical left. He doesn't have the authority to declare martial law. If he tries, we can all file suit against him. I do not believe that the Supreme Court wants martial law. I don't think that they want that, and I don't think they want him in charge of martial law. Everything is actually going against Trump. It may not feel like that, but when you buy into it, you're buying into his nonsense. The military has done nothing illegal. If it's the military or the cops, I choose the military every time. They're trained, they have a mission, they have orders, they're held accountable to those. Cops, no. Imagine a cop being held to account. We've seen how that goes. We saw how the George Floyd riots went, or protests. And that wasn't even, that was a crazy time anyway, but Trump's going in there with people not having food money, without having rent money. A lot of people don't have jobs. This gives them a purpose. This gives them a feeling of unity. He is unifying people on the left, the right, and the center. He is effing this up. He's endangering those people. We have the power. We do not have to panic. If we have to act, we'll act. But not only is he, coming at us at a time we don't financially have a whole hell of a lot to lose. We have been angry for 8 years, and it is a kind of anger none of us have ever known. If you've ever seen Handmaid's Tale, when they finally get a hold of that captain, what did the handmaids do? Just imagine how this could look without even having weapons. Those boys don't want to be in that position. They know we are angry. Half of them feel like we feel. Trump does not have the power in this situation. We do. We can shut this down. We just have to show up, and I absolutely believe we will, because LA's already showing up. People are showing up in cities across this country. We do not need to panic. If we need to fight, we fight. But everything is going in our favor right now. Power doesn't panic. And that is why Trump is panicking.